Here in California, use of methamphetamine. What is it? What the fuck is it? Methamphetamine?
Mathematical genius.
Okay. Here in California, use of methamphetamine is on the rise, largely because of the ease with which it can be produced. Yeah, whatever. So what is the thing tonight?
Okay. Tonight we're doing a search warrant for methamphetamine. We've had a control buy into the location, and we've sat around waiting for him for the last 4 hours. He hadn't shown up, but today, a few minutes ago, we received information that he's coming home, so we feel that he'll be there soon.
How much did you buy from him?
Small amount only, just enough to prove that it's a controlled substance being sold at the location.
Is he selling out of his house, or?
It's going to be it's an apartment, and small apartment basically.
How frequently do you come across this kind of stuff?
This is this is a typical meth dealer. It's a small operation where it's a person who's selling on the street. In this area, basically they sell out apartments and houses. They'll sell, $20 and up, and depending how busy they are and how much they move, they may, have anywhere from less than an ounce up to, a pound, depending on how much they have, how frequent they sell, and how much money they can turn over. But this is your basic methamphetamine sales type operation. Tonight, our IO, who's sitting over there, is a deputy. Doesn't want his name mentioned for other reasons, and we're going to go with 6 of us here. And like I said, we've been sitting out there for about 4 hours, and now we found out that he's returned. So, like I said, in this area we've come across, like I said, not only this type of operation, but also, believe it or not, in a densely populated area like West Hollywood, full ongoing meth labs. We had one about 2 months ago, which was 2 blocks, 50 yards off Sunset Boulevard, in an apartment, and he was cooking meth right in there. We've had a full meth lab in an apartment where we've taken out 80 gallons of oil and meth byproduct and meth waste, and 2 adjoining apartments. So it's not just cooked in the desert. These people are cooking it in apartments, even in a densely populated area like Hollywood, West Hollywood.
This could be kind of dangerous, isn't it?
Right, because of the chemicals and the aspects. I have a photo that I was going to show you guys of one of the labs. This is a typical, in fact, this is the last one in the city of West Hollywood. This is exactly how it was found. This is a homemade lab where he's cooking it right on the stove in an apartment. He just turns the pot over and the flame was actually on, and that liquid in there is methamphetamine. And when we went into the apartment, it was actually bubbling. We actually shut the gas off to shut it off.
That's sort of the ultimate in stovetop labs.
There you go. That is a small, what you call a small stovetop lab. He can get half a pound out of that, and they'll just keep cooking it up and getting the half pound out, and then moving it out to cellars. But that is on an apartment, basically 50 yards of Sunset Boulevard on the Strip.
Now, around in West Hollywood, there are a lot of clubs and stuff. Is that something you see a lot in nightclubs?
A lot of it's sold in the nightclubs, right. In the last few months, we've concentrated on a lot of the dealers in the city of West Hollywood, not at the clubs. It's a lot harder to get them in the clubs, but we've taken down a lot of the dealers that live in the apartments in West Hollywood that sell, and so we've been pretty successful in, closing down a number of them, and one leads to another, and it's like a pyramid, where they're loosely connected. They know each other, or either they know each other or they're in competition, and so there's kind of a whole system of hierarchy and, side taking in the drug dealers.
So how did you find out about this guy, through a source, or?
This one was information from the informants and our detectives, and this one is not in the city of West Hollywood. It's actually in the city of Los Angeles. But it's a lot of the drugs have no boundaries. People cross lines to buy drugs and sell drugs, and so these people from our area are buying drugs from this guy. So that's how we got onto it.
Okay. Well, I'll let you do whatever you got to
do. We was sitting out there for 4 hours on this guy. We're going to go back out there right now. We're going to take a van and a car, and you'll be following our car. We'll have a certain route that we'll take, and you'll fall in behind us when we get to the location. One of the deputies will stay behind, kind of with you. It'll be Deputy Mosby on the end, and he'll kind of be your guide up to the area. Because we've got to take an alternate route to the door. The primary suspect's front doors and windows are right on the street, so we feel that we can't approach it through the gate. So you'll see us. So we're going to approach from the south side of the building and kind of walk behind the building around to his door, and we'll just, single file quietly walk up around and in and make our entry on that side. And you'll just fall in right behind us in a single file. We'll go through a side yard, around the building, to the door, which is the suspect's door. At that point, we'll execute the search warrant there, and you can just be behind us right there.
Now, he's not a cooker. As far as you know, he's just a dealer.
As far as we know, he's just a dealer. Most times on these operations, they're usually they have specifics. They're either dealers or cookers. Most of them aren't cooking and then dealing right in the same apartment. So most of them are just getting it from somewhere else. Usually this guy in that photo, he was a cooker that was cooking up on order for people who would order up a half a pound, and then he'd cook it up and they'd go over and buy it from him to move it out to sell it. So he was strictly a cooker. But they may sell little of cookers on the side, but the guys selling other houses are usually not cooking in the same location. So we won't know until we talk to him where he got his, if he tells us, or where we can figure out where he got it. If and a lot of it does fall back to it goes all the way back to the desert. San Bernardino area where it's cooked, and it makes its way out to this area. So a lot of it does come from that end. But depending on who's got it, the drugs run along a very specific line. They're very we see drug dealers are very race-oriented. The Mexicans buy from the Mexicans, and they do certain things, and the white dealers will buy from certain people, so it just depends on who's selling it. So we're going to basically be out of here in a few minutes. All our gear is in the van. We're going to go downstairs, get geared up, and then we will, in fact, you have room in the van for a guy? And Carl's going to put Mosby right in the van with you, because he's going to talk to us on the radio in case you get lost or if something happens. So he'll be in there. He'll be in there with you and talk to us, and we'll take the same route southbound on San Vicente to Pico, and then we'll go eastbound Pico, and we'll pull up south of the location. We'll all stop the van, the car, and their car, and then we'll just get out, and he'll direct you back. Jack, that's Roy.
Is it Roy?
Yeah. All right. Gary, you can go with them. We'll just pull out. When we pull out the San Vicente gate, you can just be lined up on San Vicente facing southbound.
You're going to take San Vicente to Pico, then
Right.
Pico.
So you can pull out southbound. Yes. San Vicente to Pico. Just pull out southbound over there.
And that street was 12th Street?
Yeah, I think so.
Is that what I...
Okay, stop. Please.
Okay, so anybody want to ride with me or just?
Okay. Hold it in this guy's too.
Bring his car down there.
No,
Sure doesn't want to bring his car down there. So.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go down.
All right, we're gonna go downstairs. Gary.
Have you always been a sheriff in West Hollywood?
I've never been on one of these before, so this
Oh,
is
really?
new for me. I'm a reserve deputy.
Oh.
Been with the department 20 years, and this was the first time I've worked narcotics. This is the first raid for me, so. In fact, I'm not even too familiar with this thing.
Have you always been based in West Hollywood?
No,
You're in the shot show.
but that's the one they're going to go to, the 1139.
So they're going around back?
That's right. Make sure there's no back entrance.
I see. And then are they going to enter the front, or?
Yes. Well, actually, the entrance is on the side.
Oh, I see.
He just told me to tell you to stay back here.
Okay.
What are we gonna be able to see?
As soon as he calls me, we'll go up.
Okay.
See the lights flickering?
Yeah. So they're busting down the door?
They're hitting the door now.
So they're yelling freeze. Over there.
Okay, we can start walking
Okay,
up along
great.
the curb here.
It's rolling while we're on. Do you know how many people are in the house?
I have no idea. One for sure.
Is this apartment 1139?
That's it. And it should be that first one where the light was flickering. Gary Kinford.
What is code 4?
No further assistance required.
Should go around.
Well, they did it, or we can go over. Around the same direction you did, to see if there was a way in because there's a locked gate out front.
Well, you have to come to the gate and jump it around the back. It's probably easier to come to the gate.
All right, we'll come around the front.
Okay. Thank you. Give Victor up for me and then bring him out here.
Oh, sorry.
You rent this place, sir?
Yes.
He's the renter right here.
Is it alright if we videotape inside?
No.
So what happened?
Well, like I said, we came around the back. We went to the next apartment complex, hopped the wall to get through this way. That's why we came in this way. You can see his windows. With this gate being locked, his windows being here, it'd be a little tough to get in.
What'd you find inside?
Well, preliminarily, it was hard getting the door. Hold on a second. Hey, take him back inside. Jimmy, take him back inside. What happened was, we gave knock and notice, nobody answered, and it took about 7 hits to hit the door. We finally got it open. There was 4 people inside. One guy ran to the bathroom, put a gun in the toilet tank, trying to hide it. So we've got 4 people detained, and it looks like there's quite a bit of dope, set up for sales. We haven't really had a chance to look at it yet. Right now,
It's methamphetamine, though?
I'm not sure yet. I wouldn't want to say without really looking at it. And excuse me, would you get my never mind. I'll get my bag in the back. It's one that's the little bag, Sheriff. It's on the left side. So we're just trying to secure everybody right now. Sit everybody down, check for weapons, get all the people secured, the apartment secured before we start searching.
Okay.
And secure our location, our cars, that type of thing.
Right.
And so, like I said, it was interesting entry because it took a while to get in there. Surprised they didn't do more. Usually they have a lot more time to destroy drugs and run. There was no place to run in this place. It's all barred, as you see, so they were kind of trapped. But we did have 4 people inside, so it's a small apartment. It was kind of tough for a few seconds.
I have just stop.
Yeah,
cut
sure.
the camera.
Them again.
Okay.
See if we can.
All right.
Give us a couple minutes.
All right, we won't show any faces, too.
All right.
There's a van. Did you pull the van in here? Yes, I could. On this side.
All right.
Ready?
I feel like I'm coming out in the emergency room all the time giving you updates. But I just wanted to look at it, and they've got an excellent operation of the sales operation. You've got a scale, the dope on the scale. They were in the midst of packaging it up, and there's dope in the bag. There's big chunks of meth, I believe. There's even some weed. So it's your typical operation. They're packaging it up, ready to go for sales tonight, apparently. It looks like he even packages it up. He's a mid-level person where he packages it up to give to other people to sell because he looks like he's tying it off in 8 balls. And,
In Los Angeles, is it hard to buy meth?
it's very easy. It's probably it's probably surpassing cocaine right now.
Really?
As a drug that we see on the street, and you'll go to most crews and ask them. I've worked a couple of stations now in LA County, from the South Bay right up to here, South Central here, and meth is 80-20, 60-40, 70-30, overtaking cocaine as far as the use of drug, the drug being used.
So of the kind of drugs you come across, what percentage in your area is meth?
Hollywood meth is the top drug by far. It's we'd say 60% meth, 70% meth, 20% cocaine, 10% the other drugs, and that's only because it's a little harder and it's so much out there that we get the meth because there is so much meth. That would only be logical. Whereas heroin's a little harder to get, so we get a lot less. But I have no idea how much is out there. But as far as what we run across is meth in the Hollywood area is the drug of choice amongst the Hollywood people.
And who is it using? It's people in clubs, or who? The people who are allegedly selling here.
Cuts through a wide. There is no boundaries. It's anywhere from poor people on the street to upper class people, working people. It's really got a wide boundary as far as who's using meth. There's no way to classify it as far as and what economic status. It cuts all economic groups.
The people in here are allegedly selling. How much, from what you've seen in there, how much could they make in a night?
I couldn't tell you yet. It is. We haven't looked really far yet. I'm just looking at what I can see in plain view at the moment. We haven't really searched. It couldn't have worked any better. We caught them. Like I said, there's a room they were working on it as we spoke. You see them tying off 8 balls of meth. There's meth on the scale, so they're bagging up a couple of ounces to go out and probably sell. Down to break it down even smaller.
How much is an ounce?
What it goes for?
Yeah.
It goes for. It's a wide variety, anywhere from $600 to $800 an ounce wholesale. And then it's tough because people break it down and people dilute it. When it gets down to a 20, what they call 1/10 of a gram is the smallest amount. They call it 20 a teener. Meth. There are different terms for small amounts. But,
what are the different names for meth? There's crystal or crank?
Speed, meth, quick. That's basically, speed's the most common one. Crank, crystal.
We can shoot his permission.
Actually, we haven't really done anything other than moved a few pieces, but basically, you can see this was the center of their operation right here. They've got the scale. They've actually have some on a scale as we came in. This is meth in. This is how it comes in after it's cooked. It's a chunky substance, and you can see this is basically, a couple of chunks of meth, and then he's tying it off. And I haven't even weighed this, but I would assume that. It might be, what do you think, Jack, an 8 ball?
Probably
or a half ounce, Yeah. And so this is being tied off to probably resell,
So what's an 8 ball?
1/8 of an ounce is what they call an 8 ball. I haven't weighed anything. We're just looking at it, but you can see that it's being tied off. Here's the baggies. Weigh it, boom, on the scale, tie it off. Little assembly line. They're just chunking it up and cutting it. Obviously, he's also into weed. He's selling weed, so a lot of dealers, have variety of drugs to sell. I don't know what that is.
He's got the individual packages.
See, he's even got the packages in here, so he may have it ready to go. This is ready to go out to a guy. He'll just take this out like this. He'll just bag it himself as he's out there. Maybe, where they basically stash and just bag as they need to kind of elude us. Looking around so far, we haven't seen any, we haven't really searched anymore, but actually when we came in, one of the suspects ran the bathroom to toss a gun. We found him in the bathroom. We swing it around over here. Let me see right there. I'll get out, but you guys can film it. Deputy Payton found one of the suspects running in the bathroom. And
So he put the gun in there?
He put it in here. It's a lot of times they do things. Just strange behavior when they're confronted. you know, and so they basically ran in. He was sticking the gun in the toilet tank, so we haven't pulled it out yet and examined it. But it's
gun's in the
not
toilet.
uncommon to find guns and drugs just go together. This house, when they start chopping it up, and the next stop is this guy could sell himself, or who knows, these guys they might have come to pick up their supply the night they sell.
Do they sell in West Hollywood or anywhere?
Oh, they sell anywhere, you know, they sell, I don't, it's sold everywhere, so I can't say where these guys are going.
Through now, so. Unless you want to get them opening this up.
Probably nothing to do with it.
Probably not. Okay, it's probably.
Look at that.
More likely.
Something get heavy?
UCLA's? Okay. Bring him on. What he's talking about was over on the coffee table.
So that's set up for personal use?
Yeah, you got some personal use items here. You're going to ask me about this one thing, and I'm not sure what they're doing there. But, I mean, obviously they're using the little glass tubes like I explained in the back, and they're just heating up their meth and they're inhaling it. And there again, I mean, you got evidence of personal use, small baggies, evidence of sales here also with the scales and the baggies in the back room.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing some type of inhaling here. I've never quite seen anything like that. I mean, obviously it looks to me like they're putting their lips over that and doing some inhaling after they heat up the meth to get the vapors.
So the man you arrested earlier, or the man that the local enforcement arrested earlier, he removed some quantity of methamphetamine from the house?
Yeah, we believe that he was here either making a delivery for sales. He may have manufactured here since we see some glassware in the back. And this could be his stash location, which is not uncommon. They'll hide dope throughout the city. Well, if they continue at that pace, they should walk away with this game, huh?
Hopefully.
Yeah. Looks like they're just sitting around here doing a little partying. I mean,
And this is pretty common, what you run into? Or?
yeah, it is common. I mean, normally our cookers in this area, they're also users, and they're cooking over and over to supply their own habit.
So this would, if they were in fact cooking in this house, this would be considered the stovetop lab?
Yeah, this would definitely be a stovetop type lab, small quantity type manufacturing process.
So you don't need much to produce this stuff?
No, you don't. You can produce 6 to 10 ounces in a Pyrex cooking dish. It's like baking a cake. You know, you just put a few things together and throw some heat to it, and you get a chemical reaction, and you change the structure of ephedrine to be that of the illegal substance methamphetamine.
And that's probably one of the reasons why it's on the rise so much, because it is so easy to make?
Right, and then after that you take out the impurities and you put a little gas to it, and you get your white substance. So, yeah, I mean definitely that's why it's on the rise, because it is easy to make. It's quite easy to get the chemicals to make it too. We do have regulatory systems in California, but all it is right now is a reporting system, so we can track them through the reporting of those sales of regulated items. However, a lot of times they give bogus addresses, and then they don't go to their homes to do the cook. They'll go to the motels.
And because it's in homes and places you might not expect, it's kind of hard to track.
Right. It's in your neighborhoods. It's in your urban areas.
It could be next door.
Could be next door. That's right. Here's your flashlight. Thanks.
Stuff there, they probably didn't actually cook here, that they probably just...
I haven't seen any indication that they didn't cook here. They got the shed out in the back that is really dirty inside, but without getting inside, really digging around, and
Yeah.
It'd be hard to say. But I mean, this is typical of a crank's house. I mean, dishes in the right. I mean, just not well kept.
Mhm.
Cluttered. Just throwing things here and there. This is a very common meth users type home.
Not good housekeepers.
Not very good housekeepers, no.
Pizza? She wants pizza.
So I don't know if they're going to open up the box or not. So.
You don't, let me see your back. Just face this way. Just, yeah. This is nice. I always like this kind of shit. I hope it's not contagious or communicable. Not the password. Hello? Yeah. Yeah. Jerry? Is it taken care of? Oh, pizza. It happens sometimes. Because some people are still hungry.
Oh, okay, okay.
Carlos.
It was really because the cameraman saw the unit coming from the side.
The bill here, you want a picture of it? Before I move it?
The car that hit.
Anybody get hurt?
One of us got an injury. The cameraman banged around the big.
You can just zip. Imagine being sent.
Please walk your way along the That's unhooked Greg when you I'll do it.
10. Are you headed westbound? It's big, I can't see. And that's why they're going so slow on the freeway.
can't open the door. No, I think that it really helped out a lot. It really, I think it's a, I mean, we got a whole piece and it was slipping all the way through.
Yeah.
Really,
Might want
to do that.
The nature of the beast.
but this is usually what leads you to one of those acts.
We're getting up?
Okay. I mean, do whatever.
You want to shoot me from behind or something?
No, I just wanted to ask you what. So when you take it, what's the effect like?
It's like a nice kind of buzz, sort of euphoric in a way.
Is it painful at all? Or?
No, just stings really badly, but it's not painful.
And then how quickly do you feel the effect?
It's pretty instantaneous.
So you feel it already?
Yeah.
How do you feel different?
Well, just a few seconds ago, you know, there was like little like patchy stuff around you. Not that I'm hallucinating, maybe it's because of the lights or something, but you know, there's a definite altered state.
One of the things what?
Like an awareness.
Uh-huh.
It doesn't really interfere with, like, for instance, you're driving, or, like, say, alcohol would. Or taking a hit of acid.
Can you cut the radio?
Cut the radio?
Yeah, if you could.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So wait, it doesn't interfere with driving?
No.
So why do you do it before you go out to a club or something?
I'm sorry?
Why do you do it before you go out to a club?
I don't know, it sort of like breaks the ice, stuff like that. I mean, I'd rather do it than drink.
Is it a physical sort of? I mean, obviously it's called speed for a reason. Is it a physical, wired feeling, the same as
Yeah.
the old?
Yeah. I mean, a lot of people, you can tell if they're on speed.
Actually shooting your face. We don't want to shoot his face.
No.
Forgot what I was doing.
We won't use that, don't worry.
Okay.
It's not that simple. Headphones are stuck. That's what's stuck.
Should I pull over?
No, it's just cable stuck on something. That's all right.
My mom lives there. I haven't seen her since I've been there, since I've been working. She's not too happy about it. People are on it?
Yeah, some people you can tell, like their mouth movements, they're like biting their lip.
Where's that pinned on him?
So wait, I'm sorry. You're saying you can tell when some people are on it?
Yeah, just by like I guess fidgeting movements, like mouth and stuff like that. It's always like fun for me to like watch a friend if I'm sitting down in some place and watch him tweak.
When you go to a club, and how do you find people? Is that where you buy it in the clubs, or do you buy it from people?
I have in clubs before, but mostly I just get it from someone I know outside the club.
Have you ever sold it? Have you ever dealt?
Have I ever sold it? No.
Circus.
Oh, is that what they're heading?
It's amazing. Arena is really packed on Friday night, but I think it's straight. I'm not sure.
It doesn't look like.
Well, that's because Circus is right next door.
Oh, I see. So it's like two different clubs.
Yeah. But it's weird because literally just like hundreds of people lined up a lot of times at Arena. So you know Andrew Myers?
Yeah, I know him.
Yeah.
Those are looking good.
Are you gonna go to Babylon on Sunday?
I don't know. Are you gonna be headed there?
Yeah, I think I'll be able to go. So should come. So I think tonight might be a bust for us because I think we're gonna have to do some more shooting. And, but we should. Yeah, this is the high last.
This will last a few hours. It's great to dance to.
Is it? Why is that?
Because you can just dance for hours.
So the bag you had in your apartment, which you said cost about $35. How long will that last?
Well, that can last, like, if you're really taking care. It can last you a week. I don't know, maybe some folks it's even longer, but...
And when did you use this week? How many times?
I haven't. Just one other time on Sunday.
Was that to clean your apartment?
I got home like at 2 in the morning, so I wanted to clean. Doesn't look like I did, but I did.
So how often do you go through like one of those bags, like a bag a week or a couple days?
Oh no! I mean, now it's like I might do it once a month now, whereas I used to do it continuously. So, and this is like the second time this month. I don't know if I'll do it again for a long time.
And we
Are you guys gonna go there?
I don't know. I think I don't know. I think we'll probably go back and pick up Jerry and
Okay. Glamorous Hollywood.
Yeah, I know. When I first moved here, it was kind of it was surprising how unglamorous Hollywood was.
Yeah, you know the McDonald's on Western?
Yeah.
That used to be my aunt's house.
Really?
Yeah. They used to be pretty cool at one time. They changed so much. This old lady who used to be a chorus gal told me that it changed when all the hippies moved in.
Oh, really?
That's what she said.
One of the guys from the DEA we talked to today said that he thinks that within 2 years they'll be able to stop the supply of methamphetamine because they'll be able to stop all the chemicals from entering the U.S.
One of the big things up in San Francisco. Speed was such a part of that whole summer of love trip, and the cops were getting like all freaked out. So what they did was they hired the Hells Angels to come in and bring heroin into it to like stop everybody from being so amped around Haight-Ashbury. But there was one big explosion at somebody's apartment building about 6 months ago of the Haight, and they say that it was that the police actually were involved in it, and the whole place blew up. That's impossible. There's just no way. I remember one time I was studying to be a lawyer, and I was doing this murder case that was from 1857, and it talked about the overdose of this lady on morphine, and during that time it was like this, they were battling this morphine drug. So it's just, I think it's part of this culture.
You think drugs are part of the culture?
Yeah, definitely.
What does it say about the culture that methamphetamine is such a popular drug?
I don't think it is derogatory in any way. I don't know, maybe people should be taught differently. Because I'm sure there is a use for it, a positive use for it. But then of course everybody sees the negative aspects of it.
What are the positive effects?
I don't know, it seems to take you out of, like, a routine, I guess, would be the word for it. It helps, change things from a routine.
The newest drug trend, Betty Ann Bowser reports.
Phoenix police recently raided this house in a middle-class neighborhood looking for a methamphetamine production lab inside.
If you cannot afford an attorney, you have the right to have an attorney appointed for you prior to questioning. Do you understand these rights, Deborah?
Yes, sir. What they found instead were small bags of the drug. They also arrested a 15-year-old runaway and 4 adults high on the drug. 2 young children were also found in the house and had to be placed in foster care.
And you are under arrest for possession of drug paraphernalia at this point.
On the street, methamphetamine is known as speed, crank, crystal, rock, the poor man's cocaine. It's the fastest growing drug of choice in the country today. Snorted, smoked, or injected, the drug creates an intense rush and feeling of euphoria.
You use needles? I need a lawyer. Do you use needles?
It's cheap, and the high can last up to 10 hours. But it can also cause mental confusion, agitation, and violent behavior. Police in Denver say a 25-year-old skinhead was high on speed when he led police on a 100-mile-per-hour chase, shot and killed a veteran police officer, and then shot and killed himself. But it is in Arizona that for the first time meth addicts now outnumber people addicted to cocaine. In Phoenix alone, emergency room overdose deaths have more than doubled. So drug treatment officials are trying to get an anti-speed message out through a series of public service spots.
The drug is called meth. It seduced a man into decapitating his child he thought was the devil.
Did that actually happen, what's portrayed in that spot? A father decapitated his son?
Yes, that's a true story, unfortunately, but there's a lot of other violent acts and aggressive acts that happen every day with people high on meth.
Barbara Zucker heads TASC, the Treatment Assessment Screening Center in Phoenix.
They have hallucinations, delusionary thoughts. They're not really in the right state of mind. I mean, they have not been eating properly, drinking properly. They're really in a total state of confusion, and so therefore their thinking patterns are way off. They have no impulse control, and many times they think people are after them.
When David, a self-employed copier mechanic from Phoenix, was abusing meth, he became paranoid about fires.
I have a phobia of fires. I have since I was a child from actually being burnt in a fire, and I would start always smelling smoke, so that was my phobia. And it would just amplify it. I'd smell electrical burning, this, that, and of course that was the phobia.
So you would spend hours and hours and hours
looking around the house, looking for what this burning smell is. Pretty much just looking like a complete idiot, you know.
This is chemically induced mental illness.
I would say that that's what we know about it right now, right today. I think it is chemically induced mental illness. I think there's a lot of people out there. Now, sure, mentally ill people probably use amphetamines, but I think it really, the chemical causes the psychosis. Once you take the chemical away and people are off the drugs, they're fairly normal.
I wasn't fine.
Sandy has been back to normal for more than a year, but when she was high on speed, Arizona Child Protective officials had to take her young children away from her.
It's something I hate to admit, but it took me a long time to decide who I love the most. You know, I mean, I love my kids, don't get me wrong, but I didn't want to give up that either. You know, that was the hardest.
Meth does that to you?
Yeah.
It makes you make a choice between it and your children.
Yeah. And it was, you know, I'm so, still this day that bugs me because I let it even be a choice. You know, I should have dropped that a long time ago.
For more than a year now, Sandy has been sober. She also has her children back. National drug czar Barry McCaffrey is alarmed when he hears stories like Sandy's, and he's concerned about the spread of the drug.
It's a ferociously addictive and dangerous substance. It's become the #1 drug problem in Southern California, Hawaii, parts of San Francisco, Idaho, Arizona, the Midwest. It's spread in a very unpredictable fashion, and it may well be the most destructive, dangerous substance we've seen in America, even worse than crack cocaine in the mid-'80s.
Producing methamphetamine can be even more dangerous than taking it, and the technology deceptively simple. A meth lab can be set up in an apartment with simple household equipment, glass jars and coffee filters, and the ingredients can include perfectly legal cold remedies like Sudafed and easily obtained chemicals like red lye, kerosene, and Drano. This grainy video seized by the Maricopa County Sheriff's Department shows a meth cook making the drug in a clandestine lab in the attic of a home in Phoenix. The fumes coming out of the top of the glass beaker can not only be lethal, they can also easily explode, making the drug dangerous to more than just the user. Jim Milford is the Deputy Administrator of the Drug Enforcement Administration.
It's not uncommon for us to get a report from a PD, for example, of an individual manufacturing methamphetamine in his basement or out in his shed. He's high in methamphetamine, and he makes a slip, and the whole place goes up, and he's dead. That's one thing. He's killed himself. But when these individuals really risk the lives of their children and neighbors and people around them, then it really gets in a situation of public safety.
That's exactly what happened in Arizona this fall, when police believe 3-year-old Michael Carnesi died from inhaling poisonous fumes while he was sleeping in his mother's apartment. His mother's boyfriend was allegedly cooking meth in the kitchen. As the number of meth labs seized by the DEA in Arizona has skyrocketed from 14 3 years ago to 136 this year, so have the dangers associated with them.
What hazards could you assume with the reaction vessel if it was running?
The residue chemicals are so volatile that the DEA is training local and state police from all over the country in how to dismantle methamphetamine labs once they are found.
You plug in, turn on, take your first breath, and screw it down.
In a one-week program near the FBI training facility in Quantico, Virginia, officials are exposed to the realities of a meth lab explosion and taught what to do about it. At the DEA, Agent Guy Hargraves is known as the Meth King. He is also the designer of the training program.
It is a law enforcement nightmare because we have thousands of officers across the country who've not been trained in how to handle this type of a problem. We have to have self-contained breathing apparatus. We have to have specialized clothing, Nomex fire-resistant uniforms so when they go in, if they catch on fire, less likely to be injured. They have other types of equipment, air-purified respirators, air monitors, which cost hundreds of dollars to check the atmosphere to see if there are combustibles in the atmosphere.
You rescued the injured agent, but at what cost?
So far, the DEA has trained several thousand officers from around the country and continues to train another 900 a year. But DEA officials say that's hardly adequate. Many of the officers come from remote areas of the country like Prescott, Arizona, a town of 30,000 in the central part of the state. The county surrounding Prescott is the size of the state of Massachusetts, with only 100 police officers. Kathy McLaughlin is Assistant County Sheriff.
If you were going to have a lab, you probably would not want to put it in a busy area. You would want to get remote in an isolated area where nobody's going to bother you, nobody's going to see your traffic, nobody's going to smell the smell of all the chemicals. You can get pretty invisible in some areas of Yavapai County.
But the biggest law enforcement problem is the recent growth of the Mexican mafia into the meth production business. Last week, federal drug agents arrested 100 people for involvement with the largest Mexican meth gang in the country. Attorney General Janet Reno says the raids are part of a national strategy to crack down on meth labs.
We are disrupting the methamphetamine trade. We are closing labs. And to the merchants of meth, we make this pledge. We will not tolerate your threat to our children or to our neighborhoods. And we are not going to let methamphetamine spread across America the way crack did in the 1980s.
Law enforcement is also finding more creative ways to arrest meth producers. In October, DEA agents and Phoenix undercover agents busted 19 convenience stores for selling legal over-the-counter cold remedies in bulk to meth producers. Creativity may continue to be an operative word for law enforcement as it tries to stop the spread of a drug that isn't illegal until it's made.